How are you? How is your day going? Welcome back to Anu Talk Show. Today we have a special guest. I will be joined by the amazing Liz Jones, who is a personal brand and business mentor. And we're going to talk about stepping into visibility and attracting leads as a woman of color coach. So, if you are an industry expert, you have a skill set, you have an experience, you have an expertise, and you want to leverage that. And we're going to talk about what you need to do when it comes to visibility and what you need to do when it comes to attracting the leads to close them and leave a bigger impact in the industry. So I'm super pumped to be joined by Liz Jones. We're going to wait until she is coming. So, that is what we're gonna do. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comment section. So we're gonna actually answer it at the end of this live episode. So gonna see where she is and then invite her to join us. Let's see. Few more minutes and there she is, and we're gonna invite Liz Jones to hi
Anu.
what's good, how are you?
Nada más. Just getting up, starting the day with this live. So I'm excited.
I love it. I am actually ending the day with this live and you are starting
Aw.
it, so this is good.
I love it. What time is it in Germany?
It's 5:30 p.m.
Okay. Yeah,
So
quite
yeah,
early.
I'm excited for this live session. I quite a little bit introduced who you are, but
Yeah.
there you have it. The stage is yours. Tell us who you are, what you do, and we're going to start.
Yes, I love it. Well, my name is Liz Jones. I am a personal brand mentor and business mentor. And so I really help the girls, I help coaches clarify their messaging, elevate their offers, and close simple sales. So I used to be an L&D specialist at Uber and kind of had my dark night of the soul. I quit. I took a sabbatical, solo traveled the world, and then I built my brand from zero to $250,000 with social media. So I'm super passionate. I love social media. I love selling. I love personal branding. So yeah, I'm excited to dive in.
Um, I actually, before we start with this session where we talk about visibility and we talk about attracting the leads, tell us more about your travel journey, because I feel like every time when I look at your personal brand or on your Instagram, it's like you are traveling all around the world. Tell us the journey. Where did you start traveling first, and how does it make you feel?
Ooh, that's good. So do you mean when I took my sabbatical, or you mean like where's the first place I traveled ever?
I saw that you were traveling to South East Asia. Was that
Yeah.
during your sabbatical year?
Yeah. So it was 2019. It's kind of crazy because I'm like 1 month away from my like 6 year anniversary. But yeah, in 2019, I decided to walk away from my job in tech, and I was like experiencing a lot of like I was like really anxious and really depressed and in a toxic relationship, and like at that time I was like I just want to find joy. Like I was just like I want to be happy. Like I was like how are humans happy? Like what makes us happy, right? And this was like pre-pandemic, pre all of the things. So like at that time, it wasn't really trendy to like quit your job and travel. Um, but travel was the only thing that I remember. Like I was like, I just love travel, and so I was like, well, go do that thing, right? So I started in Southeast Asia. So crazy. But I remember I was just like my North Star was like cheapest and safest countries in the world. Like I just was like, how long, how long can my money take me, right? Like how long can I solo travel without working was really kind of my parameter. And all the roads was like Thailand, Southeast Asia, like all the roads were like Thailand. I was like, well, I guess we're going to Thailand. And I kind of did this like backpacking hostel um thing. I found another creator and that's how she was doing it. And I was like, oh, okay. And there was like a whole app for it. And I was like, oh, hostels have come up. I was like, well, I'm gonna stay at hostels because apparently that's like a way to like be in community and like
Mm-mm.
make your money go far. So yeah, I started in Thailand and then I went to Malaysia and then I went to Indonesia and it was great because I was kind of a nobody. Like, you know how
Mm-hmm.
like now you're like, I'm a coach, I'm a business owner. When you work at Uber, you're like, I am this. But at that time it was kind of like it was like, well, who am I outside of these labels and these identities and like who am I when I'm just playing and exploring and allowing the journey to unfold? So I did that and then the pandemic kind of hit and so that kind of like that was actually what like catapulted me into building my brand and business because I was like, well, you're either gonna go back to tech or you're gonna learn how to make money on this phone. Like you're gonna stop just posting this pretty travel content. And so I came back to the States, I hired my business coach, and then I started my brand and business. So that
I
was kind
love
of the
it. You
beginning of it.
okay? I think we can um,
Oh,
the visibility part and how to actually, attract leads as a woman of color. Um, so it sounds like you found one thing and then you leverage that into using that in order to build your visibility, right? So what would you say as a woman of color coach? You are a coach as well. Is the number one thing you would recommend or you would advise another woman of color coach or industry expert what they should do in order to actually increase their visibility or come out of the surface, like I feel like
yeah.
sometimes or all of my most of my clients before they start working with me they have this feeling like they cannot use their voice, they have this feeling like we need to shrink, who am I to show up, and then how did you overcome that in order to build a personal brand like that and make, I don't know, multiple six figures in your business?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think one of the things, I think for everyone, your superpower is always going to be your story, right? It's always going to be your story. And I was literally just coaching a client last night. She's a new client, and I was like, I have this, I was like, the first thing, because she's like, well, what kind of content do I create? And I'm like, well, you need to tell your brand story. And, and I feel like people aren't, like, I feel like I keep saying that, but I feel like personal branding is like a dying art. Like, everyone's so focused on, like, what am I selling, right? But, like, here's the thing, like, a personal brand is pivot proof, right? Because you are the brand, your story is the brand. And so, I was sharing this framework with her, but I like to say, like, you always want to start, first of all, you need a personal brand. It's like, if you are being introduced on a stage, on a podcast, in an elevator, hell, anywhere, what is that like elevator pitch? Like, what is the abbreviated version that you would tell of your journey? And I always say, you want to start with the climax, right? Like, where is the moment where everything in your life shifted, right? Or shit was hitting the fan, or you're having your dark night of the soul. Like, for me, I mean, it's been 6 years, but I still tell that story, right? Quit my job at Uber to solo travel the world, right? Because that is the moment. That is how this brand and business was birthed, right? So you want to be thinking about that as well. Like whatever you teach your clients, like what is the moment? Like, of course, now you're the expert and you have wisdom and but where was the moment where everything shifted? Where was the moment where you found your medicine, where you went on this, journey? And it's kind of that like I call it, it's like your rags to riches story, right? Or it's like that hero's journey. It's like everybody loves a good story, right? Like everyone loves a little bit of drama, right? And I know for my client, it was like immediately it was into the depth and I was like, oh, now I understand. Then it's like you're not just a coach trying to sell something. It's like, no, this is sacred medicine to me, or like this is so close to my heart, right? Like for me, I'm like, I know how it feels to be in a job where you feel stuck and you feel trapped, or you want to get out and you're like, well, how do I get out, right? Or you're like, I know how those things feel, right? The same thing, I know how it feels to be like, who am I to charge this much, or who the heck is going to pay me this much, or like, I know how it feels to have all those thoughts. So your superpower is always going to be your story. If you want to build connection, you have to tell your story. If you want to position yourself, especially if you don't have clients, right? Like let's say you're just starting out, well, people ain't going to want to buy your shit just because you're saying a bunch of quotes. Like if you want to, like my clients know, if you want to annoy me, just like say flowery things. Like nobody cares about your inspirational. Nobody cares about that, right? But like, if you actually be like, I was there, I've been there, right? If you can put us in like a moment in time, then you automatically build trust, right?
Hmm.
And I always say I know this because so many times, like whether I'm guest coaching or I've signed clients on. I always laugh at this one. I was on a rooftop bar in New York City, right? But it's like if you like the thing people always gonna say this, they're like, it was your story, Liz. Like it was, your story, right? And anybody under the sound of our voice, you have a story. Now, whether you think it's valuable or that it adds value or that it's medicine, then that's the mindset work. But your story is always gonna position you.
Yeah, I feel like story is something that a lot of coaches, especially women of color coaches, feel stuck in choosing like what kind of story to tell in order to feel like, in order to actually be visible to the clients to actually move forward with them, right? So what would like how would you teach your clients to actually pull out their story and use that as their visibility story in order to stand out in the industry?
Yeah, so I think it definitely has to be connected to your medicine, right? So I'm not saying tell a random story or just tell a traumatic story, right? But you have to think about what is your story. So let's say, like, tell me something like what's a niche a lot of your clients are in, or like what's
Oh, it's different, but I would say most of them are in the wealth industry.
okay. So even that, right? And that's good. There was a woman on a webinar, a master class I did a few weeks ago, right? And she was like, I'm a wealth coach. I'm a wealth coach. I have a finance background and this and that. Like, okay, so what? Like I was like, okay, and like what have you overcome? And she was like, well, how do I clarify my messaging or get good messaging on the same? I said, well, tell me, well, there's wealth, right? But what within that? I'm like, first of all, what's your expertise within that? Is it savings? Is it paying down debt? Is it I don't know, investing in the stock market? Is it
Mhm.
right? And then I was like, well, what is your personal journey, right? And then she was like, oh, well, I think she like her credit score was in the tubes, like it was like 400 or something like that. And she had all this debt, whatever, whatever. And she's like, now I have a $750 credit, 750 credit score. And I was like, okay, sign me up for that, okay? Because I need that, right? Like now I'm listening because I'm like, oh, how did you go from? You mean to tell me
Mm.
you went from a 450 to a 750? Oh, nah, So it's like again, what is your story within the niche? Like, don't just tell random stories, right?
Mhm.
But I think sometimes people want to hide behind credentials, but people don't really care about credentials because it's like again, like people buy
Yeah.
stories, right? So it's like, again, when you tell me a story, because if not, sometimes then people think, oh, you're above me, oh, you have a finance background, right? Versus, oh, you know how it feels to be in the trenches. You know how it feels to have a 450 credit score, knowing you ain't gonna get approved for an apartment, you ain't gonna get no new credit cards, like, you don't have access to credit as a tool, right? So again, when you're choosing the story, it has to be connected to the thing you help your clients do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I was thinking, we can turn this into, like, let me be your client right now. Help me to pull out the story. We can do that if you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down with that too.
Because story, I feel like, is the big part of visibility. I feel like, not I feel like, I know the storytelling is what actually helps you to leverage the visibility part to catapult more people into resonating to your personal brand to actually come and work with you. Because how you are saying it at the end, there are so many coaches out there, right? Why should they choose you? And
Right.
most of the time, when they choose you, it's because your story resonated so much with them that they want to work with you because the values matches the story. They feel like the connection point.
Exactly, exactly. And I always think about and I always tell people that think about how do you buy, right? Like
Yeah.
I'll ask people like, what's the last coach you worked with or anything you bought? Like, what made you buy the thing, right? I always think about my first spiritual business coach, which I worked with for years and spent thousands of dollars with. It was her story, right? Like I will never forget that. I was just reading every piece of content and I was like, she is me. Like I am her. And I
Mhm.
literally just sent her a DM and was like, thank you for sharing your story. And then the next thing you know, I was her client. And I've been working with her, I worked with her for years. And again, it was like, she was Latina and she was a lesbian and she grew up in New York and she quit her job and she went to Morocco for yoga teacher training. And it was like saw myself, and that's another piece, right? In her identity, right? And
Mm,
for me, I always say you don't need a lot of visibility. You don't need, but I think this is the part that's going to convert the people you do have, right? Or make someone see one post and convert quickly, right? I think everyone's obsessed with like, go viral, go viral. And I'm like, y'all focus on the wrong thing.
mm,
Virality, followers, likes. Yes, there is a point in your business where you need more visibility. But a lot of times it's like, you ain't even converting the people you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, your messaging is not compelling right now to convert the people you have. If you can't convert these people, it don't matter if you add on more. You're not going to convert those either,
mm.
right? So I would say like practicing with the people that you have, again, through your messaging, through your storytelling. um yeah. And again, that's only like one type of content, right? Like, of course there's other types of content you should create. But I think that's like one of the foundational of a personal brand. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. Only want to add to the visibility part that a lot of people think that being visible means if you go viral, how you said that, right? How many followers I have, how many views I get. But I truly believe like visibility means how many of your people in your audience is the true audience, and how are you helping them to shift into their future self, because they are
Mm.
following so many people, right? So many other coaches. How can you be the one where you are helping them to actually believe in the possibilities, to believe in their future self, so that they are moving forward with you? So I believe that is what visibility means in my definition. How can you stand out even though there are so many other coaches in the industry?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think also like when it comes to visibility, I think it's not just so much, how many views, right? Views. There's how many views on a reel, right? I think it's also like, how are you allowing yourself to be visible in new ways, in new rooms, right? I think of, again, for me, I'm all about, listen, especially now with my clients, I'm like, I'm only measuring two things. Did you book a sales call and did you convert them? Like everything else is kind of like noise, right? But it's like, when I say, can you get visible in new ways? For example, maybe can you guest teach for the first time? Like that may be huge for you. Like, oh my God, I'm going to go into somebody's community and I'm going to have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to tell my story in a new way, right? Like that's one thing, always convert it for me, right? Or let's say you're like, I'm going to network, right? That's something lately I'm like, okay, I need to network, right? And that can be, I went to a virtual women of color networking event. I found it on Eventbrite. And like from that, people started, following me on LinkedIn, DMing me on LinkedIn, showing up in my master class. I'm like, where'd you find me? They were like, that networking event. I saw your name on the list and this, not good, right? It's like, how can you get into new rooms, right? How can you collaborate in new ways? I know for some people, at the beginning, they're so afraid to go live. And my clients know, I'm like, go live. Lives are where the money reside, right? Um, so can you go live? Can you go live with other people, right? So it's not so much just like how many views, but it's like, how am I showing up in new ways in front of new audiences, right? The same thing when I first started doing like live virtual trainings, right? That was new for me. It was like, I had made money without doing that, but I was like, no, that's the next iteration, right? Like, show up and teach live virtual workshops, right? Or like, when I started doing my sound healing circle, right? So it was like, how can you like, it may be a little shift, but I think it's less about how do I get, yes, it's getting in front of more people, but it's like, how are you showing up in new ways? Like challenge yourself. And I always say you should do what's working, at least for me. I mean, I don't launch as much now. I just kind of sell on Evergreen, but I think you should always do what works. And then I always say you should like bring in something that's challenging, not challenging, but like a new way to show up, a new way to challenge yourself. So yeah, like think about, get creative with your visibility.
Yeah, I also want to add, especially now because the AI is actually increasing, you have to be visible and show your face. because it's so crazy how many Instagram profiles there are with AI creators. Like, so they look like real human. I'm like, oh, what the heck is going on? So I don't think AI will be a threat. It's more like, how can you use that time right now to show more of your face in order to build a bigger belief and build a bigger trust with your audience. So that's also why I push my clients as well. It's better for you if you are visible through video content, because your people, they can feel you, they can feel your energy, they can see how you're showing up in order to actually build a resonance with you.
Yeah. I'm curious, like, what's your favorite way to, do lead generation or do visibility? Like, I feel like you don't hear a lot of people talking about like visibility. Everybody wants to talk about content. Everybody wants to talk about conversion, right? But like, what's your kind of favorite way, or what do you see that's really working right now in terms of visibility, lead generation, in terms of like growing your audience or signing more
Mm.
clients? Like, what's your favorite way, or like, what's really working for you?
Liz, I have been doing live videos since 2020.
Mm.
So that's my number one thing, like video content, video content, video content. And what I am doing right now in order to create or to be in front of new audience and to be found by new audience is going live on YouTube. So I'm not
Mm.
sure how much subscribers you need on YouTube to go live. I think it's 50, I'm not sure. But yeah, what I'm doing is I use YouTube as my main video channel. For me, the resistance is so low because I have built the skill of going live for more than 5 years. So it's so
Wow.
easy for me to go live. So that's why I was like, okay, YouTube is the place where people want to learn. They are searching for a solution. So how can I leverage that platform? So I go live with my webcam on YouTube, and then I take my phone, put it
Mm.
on the side, and also leverage Instagram, because there is also where I have built the audience over the years. So that's definitely my number one way where I would say I am increasing my visibility. And when it comes to attracting clients or generating leads to book a call with me, it's the DMs. So I don't wait for someone to click the link in my bio to book a call. I literally love to build connection, to give value in the DMs, and to actually guide them to book a call with me. That is what is working for me since 2020. Like,
Mm.
um, because I have seen that waiting is not actually really bringing me new people into my offers.
Oh, this is good. I love that. I didn't even think you were going to say YouTube, because obviously I follow you here on Instagram and I always see you recording. Well, I thought I was recording your podcast, but maybe you're really streaming on YouTube and then you're getting content for Instagram. Is that what's
So okay,
happening?
let me share with you the strategy on YouTube. So on YouTube, I feel you have to have this different mindset that you are not an influencer on YouTube to get more views. So that was for me in the beginning where I felt a lot of resentment of not going live on YouTube. So I could have gone live years ago. I didn't do it
Right.
because I wanted to perform on YouTube. I was like, oh, my audience, they want to watch it recorded. My audience, they want to watch, like, I don't know, 10-minute videos, super edited. But that's not my style. That's not who I am as a coach.
Right.
That's not who I am as a content creator. I needed so much coaching to switch into the mindset that I don't care about the views on YouTube. It's more likely, how can I even turn the 10 views into clients or into something where they leave watching the video having so much more value?
Right.
So that is what I do. I really super simple go live with my webcam, also leveraging Instagram on the side with my phone. And in that way, I am actually leveraging both platforms in order to. One platform is good for lead generation, and Instagram is good for lead nurturing.
Mm. Come on, strategy. I love it. And like, in your experience, like, where do people say they found you most? Like, what is the thing? And people are like, this is the thing that made me like convert, or me be like, yes, you're the coach, sign me up.
It's definitely the DMs. So I feel like my visibility is where I build the trust. I help them to
Mm.
shift beliefs, but still it's the DMs where people feel more connected and where they are able to be vulnerable, where they are able to share their stories, where they are more open to let me know what they are going through in order for me to give them a guided training or a guided response, right? And I feel like the DMs is where I build the most connection and where they say, okay, because you messaged me, I booked the call, and that's why I signed up.
Mm. Oh, this is good. Let's get into it because I love the DMs. I'm also a DM girl. And it's funny because like sometimes I just do things and they work, and I'm like, I don't even know, like, should this be a framework? Should this be a thing? But same, like, and I remember I remember like, I remember being like, I had this moment where I was like, why does everybody have to touch me? Like, people, I feel like people can read an email, come to my sound healing circle, see me. I don't care where they see me, they're going to send me a DM. Hey, Liz, I want to work with you. And I'm like, and at first I was like, why can't people just click the link?
I think
And
it's
it was like,
because
huh?
like I think it's because people want permission. People want to hear
Mm.
permission. Hey, you can move forward with me. And people don't want to take action when they feel like maybe this person will actually reject me. Maybe they are already booked out. Maybe they are not wanting to work with a client like me, right? So you being like someone who goes first and messages them and invites them and open up a space to be vulnerable and to share what is going on gives them more like this reassurance, like, hey, okay, she got me, she's actually a real human, she wants to hear me out.
Yeah. But the interesting thing, which that's what I'm curious to hear, is so I don't DM people. Like that is like other times in my business I have not necessarily DM people, but I would do like polls or something like that. But now I'm at a point I literally don't DM. I never DM anyone. Right? They will DM me, right? I will always route people into DMs, like DM me this word or DM me here. But I think it's interesting. But like similar to you, I had to get coaching, and my coaches were like, "Why are you making that a problem? Why are you making it a problem?" And then I stopped making it a problem, and I was like, oh, like it just goes down in the DMs, like it's just right. But I have lots of thoughts about the DM, but I think I also have always DMs and sales calls. I mean, I've refined my DM process, which I'm so proud of. I'm like, I have boundaries, okay? I don't do all that back and forth. I don't pre-qualify. I don't ask questions. I don't coach. I'm not sending you 7 voice notes because I've been there and done all those things. If
Oh,
you tell me you're interested in working with me, I say amazing. Let's get on a call in the next 48 hours.
yeah.
And sometimes like if someone is on a live, right, and I see they have questions or really engaged, I will. Or if someone new starts following me from a live, I'll welcome them. That has converted as well. I'll be like, hey, welcome to the community.
Mhm.
And they'll just say themselves. So I do find like um yeah, but I'm very curious about your approach where you're like, no, I go out and I find them. You're like, I start the conversation. I initiate.
um, okay, so this doesn't mean I'm code DMing people who are not following me. I like if someone is following me on Instagram or even on Facebook, for me is that, hey, I'm your friend. Hi. And me just sliding into their DMs and welcoming to my community or seeing how I can serve them is actually an advantage for them, right? Because maybe I have a free training. That is also what I do. Like if I feel like, okay, I can actually serve this person more with a free training, I literally send them trainings I have on YouTube into their inbox to build the trust more. So when they have the trust more, they are more open to share what is going on. And if I have this feeling, I can actually give them a plan on a sales call, and then
Right.
if we both align, convert them in my program. That means I impacted one person's life. That means I changed one person's life.
Yeah.
So I don't code DM
Right.
someone existing randomly, but what I do is the people who follow me, I welcome them into my community. No
I
matter
love
if I
that.
get a yes, no matter if the conversation continues. Oftentimes with the DMs, you deal with a lot of mental junk, like What if this person reject me? What if this person say don't message me? And that's what you need to work through or need to actually get better in order to move the people. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you want to help, you want to impact them, no matter if it is in your program or with a free training or just saying one word in a DM and that changed them.
Right. I love that. And so, like, how do you start the conversation? Like, let's say people are listening now and they're like, because, right, that's true. You're sitting on a gold mine. If people are following you, it's like, yeah, they're following you for a reason. They're watching, right? And they may
Exactly.
be scared, right? And so, like, how do you even start that conversation? Like, what do you say?
Liz, they are scared. They are so scared to say hi. But just imagine they are scared and you now go to the DMs and you are like, hi, what's good? You are taking so much pressure off. So what I
Right.
say, let's say you followed me, okay? I would say, hey Liz, I saw you in my community and I wanted to just say hi, what's good? That's it. Sometimes I ask another question. I ask like, hey, what's the win that you are celebrating in the last week? Another question could be, hey, I saw you are in Thailand. What's your favorite restaurant? So
Mm.
make it
So
I
you don't just go right into like sell mode or like what are you
no.
struggling with or like why are you following me or what do you want to learn here?
So I feel like the question, why do you follow me, is not really resonating with my audience. I have tried that. So with the DM process, it is more like you need to try out what is working. I've tried
Mm.
that, asking this question, like, why do you follow me? Or what content sparked this conversation? I feel like it didn't give me a lot of response. So I changed the question because I want to keep the conversation going. So when I changed the question, more people started to respond. That's why I don't ask this question, hey, why do you follow me? Probably they follow me because I'm a business coach and they are seeing it and they want more business content, right?
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
I love
Yeah,
it. I
it's
love
like
it.
leading with connection. Like just talk about anything, right? Just kind of like if you were at an event, right? You wouldn't walk up to somebody and be like,
Do you want to
you
buy
know,
from me?
you yeah, you would be like, hey, like, or you would find a point of connection, like, oh, I like your hair, or I like your outfit, or like, hey, how's your day going, or like, hey, what brought you to this event, right? Like, it's kind of like, I like that, I like that. Mm.
I love it.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I think that's the beauty is like we all, ooh,
I
we
have.
all have. Go ahead.
Sorry. You go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, I want to just add like, what do I wanted to say? Damn it! it's more like it's more like the DMs is really about connection, and I needed to realize if someone don't want to continue the conversation, these people are adults. You can
Right,
just you can just say,
right.
I don't want to keep this conversation. That's it. Also, what I needed to change is a sales call is not to help the lead to get a yes. It's not for us to get a yes, not to for us to get the money. Sales call is literally helping the lead to see their future self and help them to make the decision from there.
Right.
And when I changed that connection, it was easier for me to offer a sales call to my people in the DMs because you can only go so far in the DMs, right?
Oh yeah,
The
for
deeper
sure.
connection happens on a call.
Right, for
So
sure.
when I changed all these stuff in my mind, it was more easier to refine my DM strategy to get more calls. And honestly, the calls are why people bought from me and why people are saying like, because you DM'd me, I'm on this call and I see what's possible, I'm in.
I love that. I love that. I love that you like found your own process, right? You're like, this was what works for me. And you're actually reminding me of, and I mean, I think, and hopefully everyone has this takeaway like, business is not, when I say it's not linear, I mean, some coaches will make it seem like this is the way and the only way. It's like, I always say everything works. It all works, right? It's like, but how do you want to do business, right? And what you're sharing, Ree, reminded me of one of my launches, right? This is actually the first time I did like like the first time I took people off of Instagram and onto Zoom. So I did a live virtual event. It was like 5 days. It was called the Rebirth, and it was so good. And I was so excited because I was like, I've never taught like this. I've never done anything like this, right? And it was good. And I thought like, okay, at the end, I'm gonna sell. I'm gonna invite them into my group coaching, and that kind of went flat. Like no one signed up, right? And I was like, I know I want to do sales call, click the link and buy it. And like, I didn't really give it its shine, right? I didn't have a presentation. I showed up. I did sound healing. I taught. We coached live. And I remember being like, oh man, like telling my coach, like, this was so amazing. Like, so many people joined my email list. So many people came to this event. Like, I met so many people. I coached so many people. I gave so much value. It felt so good. Like, and I was like, I was like, oh man, like, what a bust,
Mhm,
And my
mhm.
coach was like, She was like, Like she went straight into problem solving mode. She was like, pull the list of every single person who went and sent them a DM. And I was like, what? Like, she was like, just send them a DM. Ask them, how was the training? How did it go? What did they learn? And I did it because, I was super coachable. And I'm like, well, I want to hit my goal. So I remember like I started doing it. And or like if people were resharing my post, I'm like, hey, are you interested in this offer? Like, why are you resharing? And I ended up hitting my goal. It was crazy. I think, and I thought because the training, it had been like a month, and like I was doing a lot. I was flying to Peru. I was about to host a retreat. So I was like, man, this is a bust. And I ended up hitting my goal. Like I ended up signing like 4 clients at like $3,500. It was great. And like ran the program. And it was like all because of the DMs and like starting the conversations, right?
Mhm.
And like you said, of course, you have to move through your own mind drama. Like all of them were like, thank you, right? And some of those people actually ended up being my longest clients. Like literally they came to that program, they came on a retreat, like they become like my highest paying clients.
I love
How
it. Also, a lot of coaches, they are sitting on a gold mine. Like, especially if you are not building the connections through DMs. You have been posting and you feel like, oh my God, why am I posting so much? It's not turning into sales, it's not turning into a sales call. You are literally missing the connection part. And that's why you are currently sitting on a gold mine. You can now go into your follower list and message these people and probably book a sales call, I don't know, in a week.
yeah, yeah. And like you
Guys,
said, it's oh go ahead.
no, I just wanted to say if you have any questions around DMing, connecting in the DMs, closing, and we talked about visibility, please let us know. It would be our yeah to answer these questions.
Yes, if y'all have questions, please. Or if anybody wants to come up and get coached live, someone
Yeah,
said
I would love that. I see Monique. Monique, are you here? Do you want to have live coaching? Come on here.
Someone said leading with connection. Yes. Deep dive coaching said the power of coaching. Yes, coaching is so, so powerful. And I feel like yes, like the right coaches know how to optimize your strengths, right? That's one of my favorite things, right? Is like there's not one way. I mean, there are many ways. All the paths work, all the ways work, but it's like, this is something I've been doing with my clients a lot. It's optimization, right? It's always mindset and optimization, right? All the time. It's like they're like, this didn't work. I'm like, this is the part that worked, and this is the part that we optimized, right? Or they're like, oh, I dropped the ball. No, you didn't. Like, this is what you did well, and here's where we optimize. Yes. Anybody have questions? Anybody want to come get coach live? If you want to, you can drop it in the chat or send a request. We can invite you up. Listen, y'all, this is free coaching, so
It
come
is,
get
and
coached.
I kind of miss it doing it. In the past, I did a lot of like questions and coaching on a live session. Now I just give through value on the YouTube and that's it. This is fun.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's funny. Like yeah, I need to get on YouTube. I'm an Instagram girl, and even lives. I used to do more lives. Like I feel like I've kind of fallen out of love with lives. Um, I'm not really sure why, but I'm like, I love how you're just like, just get on YouTube and go live. Like, it's like, just because I get too much, like, yeah, if I have to overthink and it has to be curated, and then I got to think about my hair and my outfit and the setup, it's like, okay, I'm creating too many barriers. I need low,
Yeah,
low barrier entry point.
that's how I like. I was like, how can I put my message out there? I don't want to over edit. I don't want music background. I don't want that because that is not
Mhm.
my style. That is not how I coach. That is not how I coach even in my programs. So the easiest way was for me to go just live. And it's just clicking a button. And it sounds easy. It was not easy in the beginning. In the beginning, I had a lot of other stuff to go through. But now I feel like when you go, like when you use YouTube, it's a lead generation platform. So
Yeah.
you automatically generate leads through being found on YouTube as well.
Yeah. So do you go like do you do it like same time, same place? Like how often do you do it?
So I think back in June, I did a 30-day live.
Oh, you went
Um,
live for 30 days straight?
yeah.
Wow.
And then I try to do 4 lives a month. Currently, I'm doing everyday live again, like 30 days live.
Wow.
Because it's at the end of the year. That's where I make the most money. That's where
I
people
know
need
that's
coach.
right.
Like that's where people need coaching. That's where people invest in themselves. And I know it because I have been in the industry for so long, and I know at the end of the year you make the most money. So that's why I was like, okay, let's do the 30-day life. Give value, provide value, give free training, talk people in the DMs, and invite them if they want to change their lives as well.
I love it. You challenging me. I'm like, because
Let's
I've
do
been
this.
laid back chilling. I've been laid back chilling. I love that. You gonna have me get up in the DM. I'm ready to I be listen, I'm here's the thing. I'm always down to try new things, right? So yeah, my way is like attraction. Like for me, I'm also I don't know if you're into human design, but I'm a projector. So our strength is like get visible and then get invitations, right? So I'm not the one to like but shit, I'll try anything. Like, why not?
I
Yeah.
mean, you got visible and you attracted these people in your audience. That's already it. It's
Right.
just saying hello to into their DMs and making the invitation first and helping them to ease a little bit more.
Right.
So maybe
I,
you are sitting on a gold mine right now.
listen, I probably am. I
I
know
think so.
I probably am. I love that. I love that. And
And
it's about like it's funny. One of my clients yesterday, she just booked the discovery call. We just started working together, and like that's what she did. She's like, I was feeling it on my spirit to like DM people who was watching my stories. I was like, great. And so she booked the discovery call. I said, great. I mean, I think well, of course, if it's a part of your framework, then like yes. I mean, I think everyone's different, right? So like for some people they may be really uncomfortable doing that. But it's like, yeah, you can just move through the mindset drama.
that's
I
why you
mean,
need coaching, right?
that's why you need
For
coaching.
example,
That's
my
true.
clients on the sales call, I know if they're going to make the money back in the first 30 days. I
Mm,
know it. And I promise that to them. Like, I'm like, hey, I can see it. You can actually get the clients. But it's the mindset drama they need
of
to actually
course.
go through, get coaching on in order to see the results that I can see.
Right.
And
Here's one thing I will say, which I'm curious, but I have noticed the way people buy also impacts the way they show up. Like, for example, like there are some people they hear me speak and it's hot. They're like one girl, she saw a post, stories, booked a sales call, paid in full. Like all of this happened in like one day. I mean, she didn't start following me in one day, but like she was like I was sitting down and it was like, you have a sales call in 30 minutes. I was like, who booked the sales? I just posted the story, right? But like that hot energy. And I had kind of found like if I go find them, I feel like they're a little more passive. Like they're not as like not to say invested in their goals, but they're not like you ever meet those people, they like, I'm ready, let's go, let's go, let's get the results. Which is fine, right? I'm like, but I feel like when if I initiate, I find that those clients are more like I'm
Mm.
like, I'm like, hello, are you
Yeah,
here? Do you want the result? Like,
yeah.
do you
It's
want what you said you want?
it's true. I'm not saying no. You would definitely see like not everyone will get back to you. Not everyone will book a call. Not everyone will say hello back. And I think I figured it out over the years that that's totally normal and that's okay.
Right.
And
Well, I mean, I'm
sometimes,
saying the way they show up in coaching.
oh, okay. Mm,
What do you think?
let me think. Actually, it never happened to me. The best clients, really, the best clients who show up in every call, like really have very low refund. I don't even know. I had one refund 6 years ago. I
Yeah.
don't have refunds because
Yeah.
I feel like my people, they when they are sold in the like in the sales call and they see the possibility, they show up in every call, they do the work, they get the coaching. And I'm not saying that they don't have resistance. I even have someone who's like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. But even though she has this resistance, she still comes back for coaching.
Right.
And that
Right.
is coaching, right? Like you don't pay $5,000, $10,000 for a coach to get a coach who's agreeing with you. You get a
Right.
coach who should challenge you because something
Right.
is not working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I see some
Yeah.
questions.
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, so there is D. Hi, D. My question is, what was the type of invitation that your audience accepted for a webinar, an in-person event, retreat? I think that's for you, Liz.
Okay, let me see. Where is that? Okay. What was the type of invitation that your audience exception for a webinar for in-person? Okay, I got you. Um, Oh, so that example, so that was from my group coaching program. So it was I used to have this I was just thinking about it today too. I haven't done group in so long, but it was my group coaching program. It was called Shift the Vibes. Where I taught branding and spirituality. So business and spirituality. But yeah, it was for a group coaching program. Um, but I don't think the offer matters, right? I do think one thing I do think that's important is like how do you put this? Like who is like for me it's a little bit I'll say it like this, like for me I need to have a sort of um what is the word? Like it needs to feel not to say consensual, right? But like for example, like if I'm hosting a free virtual event and you signed up for it, it's like you're opting in to say like I want to learn, right? Or I want to be a student, right? Like obviously at the end of that, you know I have an offer. So it's like you're like segmenting yourself into not just I think you're dope, I love your content, you're so inspiring to like I want to be your student. Like I want to learn from you. So I think in that case, then yeah, it is good. Like let's say after a master class or a webinar or a circle like that, you then DM the person right to continue that conversation. Again, like you said, I mean, for me, I would lead with. I mean, I don't love the like. Let's just talk about life. Like for me, it is very like, and maybe like I've learned to be more forward. Like I'm more forward now in my business, and trust me, I used to be warm and fuzzy. People used to be telling me their trauma in the DMs. People used to be sending me 7 voice notes. Literally, I remember I would get DMs like, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, guys, I'm just a girl on the internet. Like, everybody go get a therapist.
Boundaries. Boundaries.
Boundaries, okay? But I do think there is a place to continue the conversation, right? Oh, I saw you came to my live, masterclass and my live virtual event. What was your biggest takeaway, right? Um, that's my kind of favorite thing because one that gives me feedback, right? Like what resonated, what was landing, and then continue it. Like, okay, well, what are you still struggling with, or like, what do you still need help with? Again, that's going to give you more data. That's going to give you market research of like, oh, okay, let me make content about this, and then of course you can, like again, I'm in my direct era. I will be like, great. That's exactly what I help my clients with in one-on-one coaching. Like, are you interested? Do you want to book a discovery? Or this is something I did with somebody recently, and it did lead to a discovery call. I was like, do you want to coach? Like, do you want to be coached and mentored? She was like, yes. And I was like, great, let's connect. Like, it's like, do you want to stay stuck? Do you want to be there? in the next 6 months, okay? Because you're looking at my content, or do you want help so you can get up out of this? But I'm a little more like direct. Like I'm not about to ask. Like I think I used to do some of those things, and now I'm just like, um, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be direct. Because I think, and again, it's like at the end of the day, most of the people who follow you, they're never going to buy, right? They're not going to buy, but that's also not a problem, right? A small percentage are. Um, and so you're there for them. But I do like, I'm gonna take you up on that challenge though, because I love a good challenge. Like I also like to test things out. And it's like, well, how you gonna know if you don't test it? And it's like, well, what happens if I do start initiating conversations with everybody who follow me? Right? So I'm gonna take you up on a challenge. I'm down for a good
I can already hear how Liz is gonna say, "Hey guys, I made 5 figures this month, or multiple 5 figures, 6 figures."
right. And I'll be like, shout out to Leno, okay? She already
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, let's see. Deep Dive Coach said, love that for you, Liz. What was the type of messaging you used in the post where the client came in hot? Oh, that's a good one. So, so there were kind of three things. So one, I did a post that was like a clear sales post. Like it was a picture of me and it was like spots for one-on-one coaching are open, right? And then I wrote about it in the caption. And I feel like sometimes we don't realize the power in that. I always tell myself I rarely do it, but every time I do it, I get a client. And it reminds me like sometimes our offers are just lost. We're like posting reels and putting it in the caption and sometimes people just don't know. They don't know what the offer is. So I had a clear post that was like one-on-one coaching is open and the caption talked about it. So that's one piece. The second piece was I created a type of content. We call this like it came directly from client quotes, right? So I always say like I know who is not in proximity with their ideal client because no shade, but I'm like, y'all just be saying whatever you want to say, but you're not really saying what the people need to hear. So I had just had a conversation with a client, actually one of my clients who was a little disengaged. She had a lot going on in her life and she was so like, and we were like, hey girl, come back. Right? So we had a heart to heart conversation and I just turned that into content. I went on the story and I started yelling because I like to yell. But really, I think it was this conversation. I was like, I think the topic was, how to be visible in your content because she was like, people really struggle with like visibility, especially when they're going through things. Like they feel like they should go hide and like come back out once they got their life together. And I was like, so you say you have these goals, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do that, but like you're hiding and you're not posting the content and you think it needs to be perfect and all of this stuff, right? So I think that's what I was talking about. I was talking about like stepping into visibility as somebody with big goals who wants to create big impact. And I was just on a story just like this, just like right? And to your point of video content, and this is the thing, like I think people think we don't have to move through these things. I always say I hate that I hate turning on the camera and talking for a while. That was really like hard for me. I like to post like travel and scenery and beautiful images. But at the end of the day, that content always converts. Again, it commands the space. People hear my voice, they hear my passion, they hear my fire, they see my personality. So it was literally, and it was funny because the rant on stories was so long, I almost deleted it. I was like, girl, this is like 10 slides. What is you talking? So I just ranted. And then at the end, I posted, again, that graphic to work with me one-on-one. And she was like, she literally wrote on the booking link, she was like, you were yelling at me on story. And so, it was kind of, like I said, those three parts. Like one, have a clear post about the offer. Like give the offer its moment. Two, it's like rant. I say rant, right? Like talk about real things like you're actually hearing from people. And then yeah, just invite them into the offer. Like that's another thing. Like if I see somebody and they rant and rant and rant and there's no call to action into the offer, I'm like, damn, what was the point? Like you just wasted. Like, why did you not connect that to your paid offer? And I always tell people don't get results from free content. There are no results there. None. People only get results when they work with you inside of your mentorship. Because if tree content changed the world,
We
people
would
will have
all
results
be
already.
millionaires.
There's no results there. So you need to sell. We have to sell. All right. People don't pay us to be their friends. What matters is the problems we solve. Yes. What help you? We got more questions. Do you have more time or do you have a hard stop? I know we're
No, I have time.
okay. Y'all are coming in hot
I
today.
just need to touch my phone now.
Okay. Well, help you both understand and set those boundaries. And what happened when you did? I can answer that since I'm like rapid firing. Um, what help what help you both understand and set those boundaries? So I think I'm gonna be honest with you. Working with a different coach. So I used to work with a spiritual business coach, and now I work with a business coach. That's how I'm new. But a non-spiritual business coach, and for real, over here in the non-spiritual place, shit is cut, dry, boundaries. Like I also realize like the power of systems. Like I feel like when there aren't systems, there's so much like love and um like I don't know how you like when things are made just for this client and that. And I realize like when coaches are doing things more at scale, like there's systems, there's automations, like there's not all this like warm and fuzzy. Like, you know, I always say like these coaches, like you could comment on their stories, they ain't even gonna say thank you, they just gonna heart the message. And I'm like, and I'm out here sending people 7 voice notes. Oh hell no, that's done, right? And so you start to notice how you're overgiving. Like literally you're overgiving. And you're like, well, if I bought with this level of detachment, why do I think I need to like bow down to my future clients and give them like my heart, soul, my baby, everything? Like I'm not doing that anymore, right? And it's like you still get and it's also like the shit isn't working. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll send 7 voice notes and they still don't sign up. And so it's like you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Like, why do I think I have to? I'm not saying don't go above and beyond. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, that's not the place. Like you said, the conversion is going to happen on the sales call or the depth or the deep conversation. So it's like, if you're serious about transformation, let's connect on a discovery call, right? So for me, it's just like, it was a mirror of of what I saw my mentors do. And I'm like, actually, I feel safe here where there's boundaries, the lines are clear, that sort of thing. And then also it's like, and I don't know about you, but I've seen so many people quit their business, burn it down. Like so many people just burnt out, exhausted, and like I'm not saying entrepreneurship is easy, but I'm like, I'm still here. And I'm like, well, if I'm gonna keep being here, you have to create those boundaries, right? If not, you're going to be burned out, you're going to be exhausted, you're gonna resent your business. So it's like, again, if you want to play the long game, and again, when you're first starting out, it's different. You're excited, it's new, you got nothing but time, you got nothing to lose. But like once you're in the game for a little while, you're like, no.
Mm. I also want to add when it comes to boundaries, it will feel uncomfortable when you say it out loud, especially in the DMs. I was also someone who got friend zoned in the DMs. And how I overcame that was when I see that someone wants my coaching or my person, like they are trying to get more out of me, I try to actually get them on a call and I tell them, hey, I see like you need more in-depth talking, and that's why the call is better than the DMs. And if they don't book it, then I will leave it. I won't go back and then try to prove myself, try to convince them. My energy is not convincing. I already know it is working. It's more like, how can you get on a call and help me, like help you to make a better decision for you and for your future.
Right. Right. I love that. I love that. Yeah. And it's like, last thing I'll say with the boundaries, when you realize it works, you will not go back. So that's something I think that goes into being direct. Like I started realizing, and I've seen it with my clients too. Like I started realizing, oh, when I'm more direct, they get on calls faster and they actually convert. And so then I was like, oh, all that back and forth, it's actually not helpful. And I told my clients over one of them, she was killing it on TikTok. And I had her start, selling in the DMs and like or sending people to the DM. She don't even got links in her bio. She just has the DM, like DM me this word. And at first she had this clunky back and forth. I was like, what are you doing? Like she was like, I'm losing people. I'm like, well, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm asking them these questions. I'm doing this, do that. I was like, you losing them right there. Tell them you're super excited. They're interested in coaching. Do they got availability in the next 48 hours? That's it. And she started cleaning up the product. And she literally had someone like give her pushback. Like people were actually getting annoyed with all of the like back and forth and like, and that's why I'm like, you think you're nurturing them, but you're really just, in my opinion,
Coaching.
you're killing the sale. Like you're
Yes,
killing,
you are killing the
you're
sale
like the
because you
sale.
are coaching them for free. Why should they pay you if you are coaching them for free?
Right. Or you're
That's
like
why.
asking all of these questions about their life and their business, which at the end of the day, you're literally going to do again on the
Yeah,
discovery call. So it's like,
exactly.
why not just take them to the place where that's, again, like you said, it's going to benefit everybody the most. So, um, yes. This is very helpful. I'm glad. When you made the sale, were you in the middle of a launch when you offered 101 and constantly selling? When you made the sale, were you in the middle of a launch when you offered 101 and constantly selling, or just a one-off post? Got you. So I actually don't launch anymore. So I used to launch. I used to be a launch girl. I don't launch anymore. I sell on Evergreen, meaning like I just create content and I sell. Like I have the belief that you can post a piece of content and book a sales call. Like I don't know, one of y'all on this live, y'all may be like, yes, I like what you're talking about. Great. Slide into my DM, book a discovery call. So I don't launch anymore. I have the belief every day I'm selling every day. Like all I have to do is post content and I will sign clients, which I'm so grateful for because I literally built my business launching. And I think it's the most anxiety inducing thing you can do. And it feels so good just to write content and sign clients. Like it's very simple over here. We write content, we sign clients, and I just sell one to one. So I haven't done my group in a minute. I hope I bring it back in 2026. But kind of the same with my retreat too. I don't really I sell that now too in a I mean, which we'll have to come back for a part two. I have different thoughts. Like now I have an ecosystem. So, I do content. I send a weekly newsletter. I have a sound healing circle. So I have like an ecosystem, but I sell on Evergreen.
We
So,
have to do part two, Liz. Otherwise, this will be bombarded. We have to do part two where we're gonna talk about Evergreen and the launch model. I feel like I think this is super interesting for our audiences as well, for women of color coaches and industry experts.
yeah. Thank you. This has been a juicy live. If we didn't get to your question, please slide into my DMs. I love to answer questions. I love to help. If this resonated, one-on-one coaching is open, so you can either send me a DM since we've been talking about the DMs, or you can click the link in my bio, book a discovery call. I also have a free sound healing circle this Sunday at 11 a.m. So all the things, send me a DM. I'll send you the links. Thank you for having me. This has
But
been
Liz, there is
so fun.
Liz, there is one more question. You
Oh, I didn't know
almost
if you wanted to wrap
no,
up.
no. We have one more question, okay? So Monique said, question for you both. How did you increase your comfort posting reels, YouTube lives, or YouTube's The Nerves Are Real? Do you want to go first?
No, I'm gonna let you answer that because you do the YouTube, the live, the reels. I'm gonna let you do it.
Okay, Monique. So how I did that to actually overcome those barriers, overcome those nerves is I had a strategy how to go live. I had a strategy what to say. I had a strategy to know how to keep the people on my life. But the most important part is actually just do it. I know
Mhm.
it sounds like, oh my God, you can say it so easy. But honestly, English is my third language. When I started, I was not good at my language. I said a lot of curse words. I don't even want to watch that past lives from 2020, but I had like sweaty palms. My heart was racing. Like I was not ready. Like when I did my first live, I was not ready at all. I was actually telling to my coach, I don't want to do this, but I realized that this will be a skill where I need to be a beginner in order to
Mm,
do it again and again and again. So I know I want to run this business online. I don't want to go to a lot of networking events. I don't want to do it in that way to build connection. What I want to do from my comfort zone in my room in Germany and build a global impact is by learn like there was no other way. It was like learning how to do video content, how to do a live session. And even though I wasn't ready, even though the first live I made a lot of mistake, I just did that. Even though I was
mm.
shaking my ass. Sorry for the language.
No, I love it.
But again, you need
Yeah. No, go ahead.
to recap, you need the strategy, you need to know what to say, but simultaneously, you need to realize and accept that you will be a beginner and that you will suck with that. Like, when you accept that, it will be more easier for you to overcome that and to start like post it, even though you know it will be
Bad.
bad. A suck piece of
Yeah.
content and celebrate that.
Right. And here's the thing. I think two things I would add. One, I think also you can think about like what is the training wheel version, right? Like, like no one just gets on a bike and rides the big girl bike, right? You start with the training wheels, right? So what is the training wheel version? So for example, and again, I always say that's why it's always dangerous to compare yourself to people who are killing it or who have done it. I'm like, but yeah, go back to their beginning. When I first started, I only did IG Live collabs. I only collabs because it felt like a conversation. It felt easy. Like I must have did collabs for, I don't know, it took me a long time before I did solo IG lives. Now, oh, it's easy, right? So think about what is the training wheel version. The same maybe with YouTube, maybe the lives is the training wheel version, and then eventually the more curated content is the more advanced, right? So I think you also have to like, you have to think, how can I make this easy? Like, how can I make this effortless? I say the same thing. You asked about reels, right? The same thing. What's going to make the reel lot easy? Is the reel going to be easy if you're just walking down the street talking, or if you're just in your car driving? Or is it going to be easy if you put on outfits and like do the thing that is easy to you, right? And then you'll make it, first of all, it's going to work because it will be your thing. Right? And so I think sometimes we're trying to like, I don't know, it's just like make it easy is what's coming through for me. Like make it the easy version, and then either that will pop and you won't even know, or you'll make it better over time. And then I forgot the other thing that I was gonna say around that. But yeah, I think just going with the like training wheel version of the, oh, that was the other thing I was going to say too. I always say, things don't have to be good to work, right? I think about my weekly newsletter. I was sending a weekly email newsletter, and people started, I learned that it was a conversion tool because everyone would say, like on the sales call, they would say, oh, I see your weekly newsletter. And I was like, y'all reading that thing? Like, and I literally say this when I do training. I'm like, it's terrible. Like, I'm like, it's not even good. Like, it's okay. It's not revolutionary. But it reminded me, it was like, oh, things don't have to be good to work. Like, yeah, in my mind, it's not good, but obviously it's good enough because it's converting. And so it's like, stop trying to, first of all, the shit you think is good may not even hit the way you want it to. So like stop worrying about it being so good and just let the people tell you if it's good or not. Okay? If you get a discovery call, it's good. If it signs a client, it's good. If someone said this changed my life, it's good. Like, and that's enough. So it doesn't have to go viral to be good. It doesn't a lot of times the stuff that converts will be the boring
Yeah.
the boring stuff.
Yeah. It is boring to you because you have mastered that. And that's why your clients are loving it. And that's why they tell you how amazing your newsletters are. Because you have probably read that thing 1,000 times and you are like, oh, this is boring. This is not good enough, right? But for you people, it is good because they are not master at it how you are.
Yes. And I think also like one thing I found is like people love there's something about I think people use consistency wrong. But like for example, a weekly newsletter that's coming out every Friday at 6 p.m. People know it's like a kid. Kids need structure is so good for kids. Like they know what time they're waking up, what time they brush their teeth, they get on the school. Right? It's like when you have these things that you do consistently, it builds a certain level of trust. People are like, I know every week I'm getting that newsletter or I know I can go to this circle, right? It's like, and that almost becomes better than if it's good or not. Like, it is something about, like, damn, she really sat down and wrote that for us again. You know, it's like something about that, like, again, it's like that kid who can trust that like mama's gonna be there and wake them up to go to school. It's like you're building a certain level of trust. At least that's what I believe. I believe that goes even further than like whether it was good or it was groundbreaking, right? So have fun. Like have fun. Create the IG live, create the IG live. Decide when you're gonna do it. Shoot, DM it to us. Let us know. We'll pull up. Choose when you're gonna go live. Make it the same time every week, same time, same place. Give it a name, brand it, right? Same thing if you decide to do YouTube or Reel. Like, pick one thing, pick a date and time, give it a branded name, and just execute it.
Mic drop. So, friends, I hope you liked this episode. Liz, we're giving so much insights about storytelling, visibility, the end conversation. I feel like we had a big range of topic covered. We're gonna do a second part where really we're gonna talk about evergreen sales. That's also what I'm doing inside my business. So I feel like we can share a lot of insights there as well. So thank you so much, Liz, for joining. Let our people know how they can actually find you.
Yes, I was gonna say the same for you. You can find me on Instagram at by Liz Jones. Um, Obviously, my name is Liz Jones, and I think I shared already, but I'll share again. This Sunday, I have a free circle. It's called Sound Healing Sundays at 11 a.m. EST. So if you're an entrepreneur or coach and you want to come move through some of those nerves, some of those anxiety, that's the work we do over there. If you want a branding and business mentor, I have spots for one-on-one coaching. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Let the people know as well, so my people know where can they find you, how can they work with you.
So I'm Anu. You can find me on Anu __Rajah. I have a podcast which is called Anu Talk Show. So you can actually find me on YouTube under Anu Talk Show as well. I actually want to promote my free training. So the Christmas is coming, the holiday is coming, and I want to help women of color coaches to sign their next 10 clients before Christmas. So if this is a goal you have set for your business and you want a free training on how to do that, DM me Santa and I will send you the free training in your inbox.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And I see you in part two.
All right.